So my next speaker, I am so excited because I worked with him. Oh my gosh, he was actually my coach. And I think it was over 10 years ago. I don't even remember, but he's
Yep.
amazing. He's focused. He's ready to go. And he's an amazing self-starter. I want to bring on Tim Nihoul. Tim, hello. How are
I,
you?
I am fantastic, but I will get better. So
Yes, we all will get back. I love that. We thriving magnificently. And you know what? It's all about, if we give up on that, we give up on everything, right?
that's right.
You are just so into that. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you now. It's been, I don't even know how long.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's
It
been a
has
while.
been quite a while. So about me, I owned my first business at 13 with my twin brother. Um, and it's not a paper route. It was a dairy distributorship to a small town in Eastern Washington. And but I'm a Vietnam vet. When I graduated from college, my lottery number was 2, so I knew what was happening. And that also tells you, and you can tell by the gray hair, how old I am. With that in mind, when I was an Army officer, I resigned my commission, moved out to Eastern Washington, started an insurance agency, and did extremely well with it. And then the company that was with Farmers Insurance, they kept coming after me and bugging me to start recruiting and training insurance agents. So I moved over to Olympia, Washington, started recruiting and coaching, again, self-employed um, insurance agents in 4 counties, did extremely well with that. And then in 99, I had a cardiologist tell me, you've been hauled in here to the hospital 3 times the last 18 months. Do you want to get older? I said, yes. He said, well, then you better change your life. You didn't have a heart attack, but we don't know what's going on. And so I said, okay, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? I'm ready to listen. And so I sold that business, and my attorney said, you've been successful in businesses. We've had people that tried to go into their networking group he was in and be business coaches, but they don't know anything about business. So would you come in and do that? So I started coaching business owners, insurance, real estate, mortgage brokers, all types of small businesses, because the principles are the same. Maybe moving different products, we may be doing something, but the principles are all the same. And in sales, and I loved what Che had to say, it's about the systems. And I learned that the hard way when I opened my business, and I got to the end of the year, and I said, what is this? They said, well, you owe all these taxes. I'm going, what do you mean? Well, I was running a business, but I wasn't planning. So I had to go back and learn about numbers, because I am all about action. I want to just keep going and keep going. What that last lady was talking about, she was spot on. I move forward, and I'm constantly going forward. And then I beat myself up because I hadn't reached my goal. And so then my twin brother said, hey, he sent me a tape. He said, hey, you need to listen to this guy. And he said, there's a gap. I'm going, what do you mean there's a gap? And so I listened to it and said, oh, he is so spot on that when you set a goal, you're moving towards it. And then you don't beat yourself up. You turn around and you look back and say, wow, look how far I've come. And you celebrate how far you've come. You might not have reached the goal. And the goal is like the horizon. And I love this. And I don't know if I told you that about, but I told all my coaching clients, look at the horizon. Can you reach the horizon? No, it's impossible, because the darn thing keeps moving.
I know. And thank goodness, we always want to do that, yet we don't want to do that. Why would we want to do that?
That's exactly right. So what I focus on, and what number one, we're all in sales. We're selling everybody every day, and we're selling ourselves. Are we moving forward, or are we moving backwards? And I get up today, and you made that comment. Oh, do I want to do? Yeah, we've got to spend that time when we're doing things to make that decision. And people say, and I've coached a lot of people, a lot of different types of businesses. And when I ask that owner, or I ask that person in sales, or that person who has a job, what do you want to accomplish with this?
Hmm.
What is your vision for where you're going? Oh, I want to make money. Well, if they just want to make money, they're never going to be successful. So I say, wait a minute, this business or this job is not to sell insurance or it's not to sell real estate. The purpose of that job or that business is to fund the lifestyle you want to have.
Hmm.
And if you don't have a vision for your lifestyle, then you're just sort of, you're going to be just running in place like a hamster and going after it. So I
Well,
had to look at that. That's why if you see on the screen behind me, I've got pictures of everything the last thing we put up wanted to do. And the one is go to Colombia. We wanted to spend time in Colombia. We wanted to go to Ecuador, spend a couple months in Ecuador. Right in the middle is the logo for my university. I wanted to be able to travel to all the home and away football games for my university. And then below that, you can't see it, I don't believe, is a picture of an RV, a Solitude by Grand Design. And my wife and I said, we've had this vision for a long time. We're going to buy a truck, we're going to buy a fifth wheel, and we're going to travel. Well, because of COVID, we couldn't go to Colombia, we couldn't go to Ecuador, football was canceled, but I bought the truck and I bought the Solitude. And in the middle of August, we will be on the road. We've sold our house. We're getting rid of everything and we're going to be on the road for the next 3 to 5 years.
oh my gosh.
So that, be careful what you put on things.
Yeah.
If you have that vision board, and I think everybody should create that as to what's my life look like? Because that's what that business, that's what that job you have is going to do. And if you've
Board.
got
So I just want to slow down for a second so people
yeah,
can take this in. The nugget, a vision board. So can you just explain before you go, can you just explain, you put this on a vision board and
correct.
and that helped you to focus on your goal? Is that
Yes, I've got at the top of that, it says, what am I working for?
okay?
Okay. And then I put things on it. Now, this is a very condensed one, but
Yeah.
I've had big vision boards and I got the motorcycle I put on there, some other things.
Yeah.
But every year I do another one, and and to look at what it is. And it's interesting to look back at that vision board and see what we've accomplished,
Nice.
and then look at that and say, oh, this is on there. Is that really important to me? Because life changes.
Right.
I'll be 74 next week, and I've gone through some. I think Che talked about we all hit that wall. Um, hey,
Wow. You've been going and you're still going strong. It's like, wow.
well, the interesting thing is I've had 3 heart attacks, all due to Agent Orange from Vietnam. But somebody says, well, why don't you just retire? And I said, because in football, this is a mantra I've got: in football, you do not quit till the whistle blows.
I love it.
And in the game of life, you don't quit till the Lord calls you home. Now, that's my belief. I'm still here, so I've got to be doing something. And my wife would go crazy if I quit doing anything. Um, that would not be good. But with what we're doing now, I can do it from anywhere as long as I've got access to a phone and Wi-Fi.
Mm.
I can keep coaching, I can do other businesses, and that's the key, is staying active, and keep moving forward. I never want to quit, and so it's a challenge. I hire a coach every year, and I have done that since 1983.
Wow.
I hire a coach. One of the first coaches I had, he said, "What's the write this down? What's the most important thing I can be doing right now?"
Mm.
Okay.
Perfect.
What's the most important thing? He said, maybe it's taking a nap. You got to recharge. But what's the most important thing? And then, I've hired other people. I listened to, uh, not see Grant Cardone. I listened to Darren Hardy, and I've hired these guys to do different things. But one of the things that's really helped is narrowing it down to what are the 3 most important things I want to be working on. And, being very specific as to what those are, and then what am I going to do to accomplish them. And if you haven't read it, a great book is The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran. And the 12-week year is not taking a year and dividing it into 4 quarters. It's saying, where do I want to be in 3 years or 5 years, putting those things out, and then taking for the next 12 weeks specific actions that are going to move you in that direction.
Oh, nice.
If people will do that, after I got out of the hospital the last time, I helped my wife with her business.
Okay.
And I said, I can do this. So I started in 17, in the middle of July of 17, working with her. In the first quarter of 18, using those principles, I accomplished everything in that first quarter of 18 that we did all the year in 17.
Wow. Wow.
So that is
Must
the
have some
focus.
systems, right?
That is systems.
That is
Yes.
systems that you put into place. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
you know,
amazing.
that's
I mean,
my focus. And you've got to be totally focused on what you're doing. One of the things Cardone says that I really love, you've got to be obsessed with what you're doing, or you're going to be average. I
ah,
don't like losing. I
yeah.
hate losing. And that's probably why I'm so hard on myself at times. And that's why my brother sent me to say, hey, turn around and look at where you've come from. Um, so that's a key point. You got to be obsessed. Do you really like it? And if you're in a job, be the absolutely best person in that job that you can be. You say, I don't like sales, or I don't like this. That's okay. Now turn it around and say, how can I be better than anybody else in this job that I've got, and maximize it? Then say, where can I go from here, and maximize it? That is the key,
Make it
is to be
fun.
the
Make it,
absolute
yeah.
best. Yeah.
Make it fun. Make it a game is what I'm hearing. And that's what I love, because when I know it's a game, it's like, when I want to do something, and I mean, that competitive spirit comes up in me from sports, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I want to keep going. And then it becomes really fun, right? And
Yes.
just in a good way, like
Yep.
you love it kind of way. Yeah.
Very true. Yes. Yes. And that's the key. Life is a game. We want to have fun with it. We want to win, but more than anything else, I think we really want to make a difference in other people's lives. And
Yes.
that's what I am passionate about. How can I help you? How can I serve you? When somebody calls me, I answer the phone. Hey, it's Tim. How can I serve you?
Yes. Yes.
You know,
And that's why you are where you are. And I know uh, that's such a valuable lesson. I know Shay was talking about that too. And that's something that I want to, and I've been in businesses where it is about giving to them as well. And I know even when I was coaching with you, I mean, and that's why I loved it, because I could focus on what I was doing, and it was about giving to other people. And when we focus on that, then we get back, monetarily. However, what you mentioned earlier about the systems, I think sometimes I may have not put as much emphasis on that in the beginning
mhm.
as I could have. So I think it's those
We all
systems.
do that.
Right, right,
You know,
right. And so how do you, when you get overwhelmed, or you get in that place, how do you, or distracted, how do you get back into where you want to be, or how do you shift out of that?
that is an excellent question, and it's a constant problem. Now, I've worked from home now for 21 years, so I don't have all the distractions of people walking in, but I do have distractions with this thing, the phone. And so what I do is I turn it off. I
Ah,
turn it off, turn it
wow.
on silent, put it on do not disturb so that I can focus on that block of time that I'm going to be working on. The other thing I do is I have for years carried a calendar, and I've tried doing it on the computer. Well, I write my goals out every day. First thing I do after I've had coffee is I write my goals out every day as to what I want to do, and I do it again at night. And but I write that out. I do my Bible study. I do some reading. I sit back and relax. I just have a morning routine. I don't have a good evening routine, but I've got the morning routine.
Yep.
And but then I look at what I've got to accomplish, and I write that out, and I put it onto my calendar and with alerts so that it's going to let me know. And people used to know when I was in the army, when I had my business, if I did not put it on a calendar, I didn't show up. So I had to do that. And people say,
Yeah,
"Did you get that down?" Yes. Then I knew I would be there.
I'm like that.
So and if I get distracted, I have to sit back and say, "Oh, wait a minute. Is this the most important thing I could be doing right now?"
Oh, right. Okay. Is this the most important thing? Yes.
Put
Yeah.
it away, go back and get it out. I mean, this has been the last 2 months with selling our house and buying different things and getting set up to leave and all that. We've got a big estate sale coming in that'll be got a wedding for a granddaughter. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. So balancing all that and working, that has taken complete focus. I have to prioritize time for each one and
And
to
living
make
your
that happen.
dream though, I mean, that's amazing. That's what you put the focus in for in the beginning,
Right.
the work and all the focus is to be able to do exactly what you're doing. I mean, that sounds so much fun, like so much fun. And I mean, not everybody gets to do that. I never thought I would like an RV, but I know I have friends that have one. I think how fun would that be? To really get to go out and just be free, right? And just stop when you want and go to different places. Like so that's so wonderful. All of this stems though from that focus. And I wanted to ask you about turning off the phone because I often say I'm going to do that, and I have used that. I don't do it enough. And so, how long of a period do you turn it off for?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's funny because and you turn it off. You don't. It's not on vibrate.
No, no.
Okay. And
I've
so
done that. Doesn't work.
doesn't work. I know.
Or I have to put it away. Like I will not have my phone in my bedroom at night
Yes. And I
because, you know, ah,
right.
that's just a you'll get phone calls, you'll get text messages, and I'm a very light sleeper. So
Oh,
if I hear something, if I hear my dog moving, I'm waking up to go, what's going on? And that's just the way I've been. I think I learned that in Vietnam. One eye's open. So
oh, I can totally understand that. Right. Yeah, that would be very difficult. I
so
get that. I'm a pretty good sleeper. I wake up once in a while. But as far as consistency goes, have you found that your focus, for people that are struggling out there, has it improved? Have you noticed with consistency that it does improve?
if people will have their vision of where they want to go and then focus on no more than three things at any one time, write them down. What are the three main things I've got to get done today? And I learned from Darren Hardy is, and I used to do this, and we get distracted about things. Hey, I was doing so well when doing that, I quit doing it. Huh, why? So, but I write, every Sunday afternoon, I write down what I want to get done this week, and then every night I look at what did I get done? What is what didn't I get done? Do I have to move it forward? I couldn't get a hold of somebody, whatever it may be. I'll put it into the next day, set a time to do it. And I look at my calendar. I use a thing called Pipe Drive, and I put all the contacts in there. Then I can track what I've got going on. And if I talk to you and I say, well, I've got to talk to Karen again, and we're going to talk on the 21st. Boom, I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to remember when that comes up. I don't have to think about it. When am I talking to Karen? It'll pop up, and I'll know to call you, or we've set a time. I've got a person. I use Calendly a lot, which has been very, very helpful. And that's what I'll do here. If somebody wants to talk or wants a free consultation, I'll just put the link for Calendly into chat. They can go in, schedule a time that is going to be good for them, good for me. We'll have a 30-minute chat. So
Yeah, no, that's
either
perfect.
phone call or Zoom.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I don't know the other one, Pipe Drive. Is that an app? Is that a?
Pipe Drive is a CRM type program.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. And I've got it on my phone as well, but it's really very good. I can track emails. I can tell when I send out an email to somebody through that, I can tell right away if they've opened it or not. And if if they have opened it, great. If there's a link in there and they haven't clicked on it, I can tell. So if
Right.
they say, oh yeah, I watched that, I'm going, really?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
I've got one kind of like that. I've got a couple, but I don't know. I may want to change mine, but that's really good to know. So a couple of things that you describe yourself as that I thought were really interesting. Intense, enthusiastic,
yep.
and focused.
That is true. I've been told you are too militaristic. And when we have a mission to accomplish, when whatever the thing is, I want to get that accomplished. I want to keep moving forward. That's my focus. I'm not going to get away from it because that's where I've got to be. Now, I've also learned that I have to say, okay, Nihoul, calm down, turn around, look where you've come. This is not the end of the event. Give yourself time. Go out for a walk. I used to run an awful lot, 5 miles every day and
Great.
12 to 18 on Saturdays. Well, I can't run anymore. That's just,
I
no,
don't
that
or either. Yeah.
but I walk every day, 2 to 3 miles. So, if I haven't got a walk in like you did at 11 o'clock at night, I grab my lab and we go for a walk. So,
Do
make
you
sure,
at 11 o'clock at night, you go for a walk?
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
other thing that drives my wife crazy is at 10 o'clock at night, I'll go pull 3 or 4 ounces of espresso and drink it, then go to bed.
You
And
can do that?
yep.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. So life really is about harmony. And what would you tell someone wanting to make a difference impact in the world? What would you tell someone in their life or
Yes. What's your vision, but what's important to you? It can't be what somebody else does. It can't be somebody else saying, oh, I want to feed the world, or I want to, wait a minute. What is that thing that's important to you? The young lady that talked about donating to whatever it was for Richard Branson to win that. She's got a passion. Maybe it's make a wish. What is the thing that is important to you that you can get behind, that you can work for? And it's got to be yours. It can't be your brother's. It can't be your mother's. It can't be the boss that you're working for. If you're in a network marketing company, it can't be what you hear some leaders say they're going to do. It's got to be yours, and you get focused on that, and internalize it. That'll make all the difference in the world.
That's so true because I know that I think a lot of people go to what everybody else is doing. What are the masses doing? What's somebody close to you doing? And it's like, and it doesn't do anything. And why are they doing so great, whatever. And you're not. Well, because it's not yours. So
Right.
that's so true. That's wonderful. So one more question. What's on your bucket list? And
Travel.
travel. So you kind of mentioned it. So when are you leaving?
We will, see, we have a wedding the 1st of August, my granddaughter, and then we will be out of here about the 8th of August because people are coming in and they're going to do an estate sale at the house. And I heard about this from people that did the same thing we're doing about 5 years ago, and they're having an estate sale. I said, I thought you had to die to have an estate sale, but no, I
I
was
know,
wrong.
right? Yeah.
And so we're doing that.
Wow.
We'll come back on the 17th of August and make sure everything's here. Turn the keys over on the 18th, and then we're going to be traveling. I'm actually going to go through an RV driving school.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Well,
Wow.
there's an awful lot to learn.
They're hard. I would not want to drive one of those. I mean, personally, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
a big truck and 37-foot RV. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot to learn, a lot to do. And, we want to have fun. We were just planning out a trip last night and saying, and, you're not going to drive more than 2 to 4 hours a day because you're going to go a lot slower.
Right.
So we're looking at, okay, where can we stop? What can we do? Is there a Walmart there that we can pull into and park and
Oh,
a night?
right. Exactly. So you get to map it out.
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
leave that up to my travel agent,
Oh,
my
okay.
wife.
Great. Oh, nice. Yeah.
We went to Europe for 31 days, something like that, and she had everything planned out. She had bed and breakfast we stayed at.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
I don't want to deal with that stuff. I'm on. Let's get going. Let's make it.
Yeah, just make it happen.
Somebody else do the details.
Oh my gosh. Well, Tim, it's been fabulous seeing you, and after all these years, talking to you. I mean, it's so wonderful having you on here and seeing where what you've done and where you're going. And I wish you the best of luck on this journey, this new journey of yours.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you're doing a great job, and I know you're helping an awful lot of people, and
Thank
that is critical, especially today when there's so much going off. And the other thing I did do is I have not watched the news in over a year and a half. We
I
turned it
don't watch
completely
much
off.
of it, and sometimes I just try to find out a little bit of what's going on, but that's a good point. I don't either because I don't want to focus on that. It's always
Yep.
bad.
Right. Right. It's all
Yeah,
bad.
it's all bad. I know. So, Hasanain, can you please put, if you haven't, Tim Nihoul, there it
I'll
is.
put the Calendly. I'll go ahead and put the Calendly link in there.
It's in there. It was
Is it?
just, yeah, it's
Okay.
right in there. It's
Good.
all in there. So, thank you. And thank you for that and being on here and just sharing your wisdom and all your nuggets, Tim. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Thank
All
you
right.
much.
Take care. Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Thank
Bye.
you.